This is Arts and Crafts with Luba Carlson, and we continue working in the art journal, finding new ways to express ourselves, to release the stress, to maybe help ourselves become a little bit more bold and brave, to remember things that makes us happy, maybe talk about our dreams about future, or maybe simply use the page that we created for some active meditation time when we can just immerse ourselves into something that is easy enough to work on, but still is a little bit challenging, so we still need to pay attention to it. Actually, just for a second, I want to talk about this page right here, because we created it a few episodes ago, and I did go in and added a little bit more texture to it, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. We just created the watercolor background, and then I went around the colors with the black pen, and just taking the time to sit down and fill up the shape with whatever texture that comes to mind is very, very relaxing. Maybe play some music that you like. Maybe you'd like to light a candle while you're doing this. Maybe just pour yourself a cup of hot tea. Whatever it is that will help you sit down and exhale and kind of get lined up with your inner core again, and stop for a second, just stop and be, just stop and be, and not worry about things that are around you. So this is a very, very good exercise, and this is why I just wanted to talk to you about this real quick. Now, in this episode, we are going to work with things that are more about our future. The vision in color. Where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you see yourself maybe in the next, 5 years, 3 years, 2 weeks from now? What is in that future that makes you excited? What colors bring you the feeling of joy and the feeling of anticipation that something good is coming? When we work on art like that, when we create things with the intention of anticipation of something good, we really do train our brain to pay attention to the good things more than to the negative things. It's like having a gratitude journal for the future. It's like expressing your hopes and dreams in a way that they've already happened. It's happened. And so you're celebrating because it's already here. For this one, again, I have the whole array of supplies here, but I think since the last one was, a lot of painting, and this one was a lot of painting, I think I'm gonna start with my scrapbook paper, because again, I keep showing to you, I keep saying, hey, I have scrapbook paper, and I'm not using it. So let's start with that. What would the next chapter be like in color? Now you can see that I really enjoy colors like this, kind of maybe a little bit muted. I really like greens. Oh, this is beautiful. We'll see what can be done. Oh, I really like this. Look at that. Okay, and I really like that. Oh, now I have to make a choice what I want to use. Okay, so anticipation, right? Visions of future. Let's see. where would I want to start? I think I'm going to start with this one. I really like it. It's so pretty, and it's a dark background that I don't usually use, so it'll be fun to see what happens, right? So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with just making a choice on my scrapbook paper and going with that. Now, how do I want to do this? Do I just want to do like a frame? You see, it's all a process. It's all a process. Just ask yourself, what is my vision? What do I see? Is this gonna work? Is this what I want? Yes, I kind of like this. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this again to just make sure that it stays symmetrical. I really want to have a frame around it, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so what am I doing? I am gonna fold this on the line, not on the line, but like, I feel like this is probably about 1 inch that I'm gonna take off, but you kind of have to measure your own page and see what you're doing. I think this is working for me because it's flowers and they're all blooming, and this is how I feel about the future, because there are a lot of things that are new things that are coming blooming into my life, and I really want to celebrate that, because it's beautiful, and for the most part it's very unexpected. Like everything that's been happening in my life over the last 3 years, I'm gonna say probably 3.5 years since we decided that we were gonna be moving back to Omaha from Texas. Things have been changing and aligning, and I've been growing in ways I could never imagine I would. So this really does speak to me. Now, if you remember, one of the easiest way to prep your paper, like I don't have scissors on purpose, because I don't really like cut lines. I like torn paper. Feel free to use scissors if you need to, but I made a crease, and now I'm just putting clean water onto that crease to soften it. It'll soften it, and then I can just tear it, and it will tear exactly where I want it to tear. Look at that, so easy. Boom, and it just comes off, and now I have this one that I can use for something else. Let's do that. My brush kind of went off a little bit off the crease. But just put water and let it seep into that crease. Okay, and then go back and forth a couple more times. And it just comes off just like that. How easy is that? Now, this page came right out of the book, and it has the line over here, which a lot of pages, like scrapbook pages, would have that mark to cut to create like a square, 12 by 12 square. But I really like this line because it looks like it's been stitched with a sewing machine or something, so that is gonna work for me. I really like that. Okay, excuse me. Let's see. This is a good start. All right, I am going to glue this on, and here is the glue stick that I want to use. I know I talked to you about glue sticks and glue that I like to use in my journals, and so far this one's been doing the greatest. I've been using them for a few years now. They are not super expensive, and they are permanent. They really do stay in the journal. The one that I would highly not recommend is using school glue sticks, because they really do fall off. Like, it is funny, almost funny, Okay, I want the seam to up. I want the crease to match the crease. So hold on, I'll stop talking for just a second so you can pay attention to what I'm doing. Because sometimes it's hard to talk. Ah, I am having issues. Let's try again. You really want to match. Okay. All right. And so whatever happened, the glue that came onto this page, it'll dry clear. I'm not going to worry about it. But again, I'm going to tell you to please try and not use a school glue if you can. If that's an option, school glue is not a good thing. Okay, now I see that this corner is lifting, so I'm going to add a little bit more glue to that. I don't want any corners lifting. And put my hand on it. Let it stick. Do this one. Let it stay. You're not going to believe this, but I just had an idea. Like, really? So I just glued one side to it. And I really like a, look, it's like one inside of the other. Oh boy, this is so promising. I'm really excited right now because I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm excited. How about, what if we put a pocket in here? A pocket to keep dreams. Maybe a pocket like this. Ooh, okay, so the more I look at this, the more I like it, which is not unusual. Okay, let's measure. I want this pocket to be just right to sit here, but also to be hidden behind this side page here. So let's see, let's make this right. Maybe a little bit. I do have a pencil. I'm gonna mark this line right here and fold. On the line. Make the crease. I am doing this with my fingernails, but you also can use a bone folder, or maybe you have a plastic ruler that would work. Okay. Now to decide, yes, I want this to be on the outside, and I want the hearts to be on the inside. And we need to fold it a little bit in to make it into a pocket. I know. It's like all of a sudden we're making pockets here. Hey, why not? So here. Oh, that just broke. Look at this. This is old scrapbook paper, so it probably did not want to take any more of my folding. And it just broke on that little heart. Oh well, not a big deal. All right, sometimes things just happen. Okay. Now I'm gonna draw a line with my white marker just for you guys to see what I'm talking about. So I want to be able to see the pocket right here, okay? So I'm gonna cut, before I'm gluing anything, I'm gonna cut it out. And I'm trying to see probably to here. And I'm gonna do like a wiggly envelope line, just like this. Oh, cut. I said I'm gonna cut. I don't have scissors. Ha ha. Joke's on me. Dry. Let's hope this works, right? Just for the fun of it. Here's why I'm making this envelope, or pocket, or whatever you want to call this. I wanted to put my dreams in there. Just make little tags and put them in there. That's kind of my thought process right now. So I'm just outlining it with my water brush to make it easier to tear. And look, it just goes perfect on that line. Just love that. Okay, save this piece, don't throw it away. You see what I mean? And then this part can go up here. Just as symmetrical, kind of, if the hearts would meet, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna glue that together. Make it not very big of a glue border, because we still want to be able to put things in, right? So we're gluing, I'm just gonna glue one side, and then I'm adding glue to the bottom. And fold and glue it together. Are you with me? How are you doing? All of a sudden, right? It's like, what's happening? Okay, this will go here. It can be a double pocket. You guys gonna laugh. So if you wanted to turn this into a double pocket, what you would do is you would create another cutout over here on the paper that's behind it, and then you can use 2 pockets here. But I am not going to do that right now. I'm going to put a lot of glue on the back. And this one's done, and that's all right. I am not shy with using the glue. It's something funny that I always tell my kids at the studio, my students, when I tell them to put glue on, I say, remember how your teachers at school always tell you to use just a little bit? And they're like, yeah. And I say, well, forget that. Here you're gonna have to use a lot. And they always look a little bit confused as with, why do we want to use a lot? And so I'll explain it to them, and they're like, okay. And so they know that when we work on collages, they put a lot of glue on theirs. Excuse me. I'm putting my hands on it just to make sure that the glue takes. All right, so if you're wondering, okay, now what, right? Here's what, you can create different tags with your scrapbook paper or something else and keep little notes in here. Here's another paper, right? So you can just stuff little pieces in here, and we can create a quote here or write something meaningful, or just, you know, paint it, color it, create another collage, maybe put some flowers, put some other flowers on it. I think this one had flowers. Like we can add a big flower to the back if you wanted to. There's options to go for. Yep, okay, so I'm gonna save that. Now here, my bright visions. What would it look like, right? What does future look like in color? This is what it looks like. It's bold and beautiful, and that's exactly what I want. I think what I want is some just white paper, so I think I'm going to use this, but I'm going to use the white side of it, and I'm going to rip it into long strips. Oh yeah. Lots of collage, right? But I kind of love it. Okay, now let's see. I think I made a little bit too many. Let's see how that fits. Which one? This one has a straight edge, so this one will go on the bottom. And I like that it sticks out just a little bit. That's great. Now this one has a straight edge. This will go on the top right here. I don't want to make so many that I can't see my flowers. So maybe here. Maybe like this. And my thinking is that I will use these strips to put something meaningful on it, like a writing. I'll probably find a quote that would go with this about the future, about envisioning our dreams, about bringing things to reality, how all of this magic just happens, and how I can be grateful and accept it the way it comes. Now, one thing that I did not bring, but it would look super cool if you have it at home, if you have ink pads, you can ink the edges of the papers to just make them look maybe a little bit more edged and not as dark. I'm thinking, what can I do that I have? What can I use? I have a whole lot of stuff here, so I'm pretty sure there's something that I can use. Probably watercolor. I can definitely do that. Burnt umber would be perfect for that. Let's do that. So I'm just gonna grab my watercolor pen and my big brush, make a puddle of water in here, because it needs to be wet. Grab some of this burnt umber, which is nice brown, mix it into here. Okay, and then I'm going to take that and apply it ever so lightly to the torn edges. You see what it does? I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's fine that we don't have the ink pad and all of that. We can do these things with the things that we have. And I really wanted to move into the paper a little bit regularly. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just maybe give it a little bit of color. So if I do that, you see how different it looks versus just the white? Yep. And another thing I just thought about that would be super cool is to maybe grab some bright color and do a little bit of color splatter on these. I'm just using cadmium red right now, but you can use any color. Things will just come, It's like, do you have to have a brown outline? Not really. You can make whatever color you want. Okay, so I'm going to clean this brush now get rid of that red. And maybe, Let's see what we have on this that would look super cool on the splatter. Let's maybe go for some warm yellow. Warm yellow would look great. So here's some warm yellow. I'm just gonna fill up the brush and do again, go again. I am not concerned that the splatter goes outside of the frame. It's all good. It's all part of the process. But if you are concerned, just be careful, because you don't want to create stains on things that you don't want to be stained, that you don't want to have stained, yeah? Maybe add a little bit of color to the edges. Where's my glue? Here. Oops. And again, the sky is the limit. You can do this any way that works for you. Find the crease, find the crease. There we are. And now glue the other side. And you can even make these as, hidden messages again. So like on this side, you can put a question, and then you would open it, and there is an answer. There's so many ways you can use these as you're dreaming about your future, as you're putting this in your book. I just want to encourage you to not be afraid and make bold decisions in your art book. I noticed that people who make bold decisions in their art journals also find it a lot easier to make bold decisions in life. Like they're not as afraid, to take a step towards something that they've been dreaming about. So what is it? What's going to go? What is going to go in here? What is that dream that you've always been dreaming, but for whatever reason, you never took a step to it? You never took a step forward. You never considered that it really could happen for you. All right, so this is going to be my last, and I hope this episode inspires you to dream, and it inspires you to create in your book without looking back, and maybe even create in your life. Of course, there's always consequences for everything we choose. Yes, I am not being oblivious about that, but sometimes we just need to take that step. Like with that pocket, it just talked to me, and so it happened. It wasn't planned. All right. So on here, you can write with anything. Sharpie, acrylics, Posca pens, whatever goes here, goes. Whatever goes into this little pocket goes. It's yours. All right, I'm very excited to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next episode.